A very busy free agency. It continues to be so. All the guys, I'm not introducing them again. We'll put up their lowers and you'll see their names individually because honestly, I could have said it in that amount of time that I've been complaining about it. Okay, so here's the thing. We do have breaking news when it comes to the Commanders. They have been very noisy when it comes to free agency. They are now signing Chig Okonkwo, tight end. This is a team that was 12-5 last season. They went to 5-12. We still have our lead NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. The Commanders also have signed 3 new linebackers, Pete, in this free agency as well. So a lot of noise from them.
Yeah, and look, they needed to. They had problems on defense last year. They needed to get better on that side of the ball. I mean, I like what they've done, actually. And they spent a lot of money last year, too, by the way, and a lot of that didn't work out. And they made the deal for Marshawn Lattimore. That didn't work out. They needed to get better on defense, and I like some of the signings and some of the guys they've added to that side of the ball.
I love bringing Okonkwo into the building because what did you see last year on Gotta Have It Downs? They went to the tight end position a lot. Zach Ertz was a big part of their offense, particularly in those situations. At the end of the year, you saw Zach Ertz, a salty old vet. He goes down with a really nasty injury. Oh. You need somebody to fill in and be productive and be there for those downs and distances. And I think Jaylinn is mature enough and understands the game well enough to use those tight ends. It's a great move, but they definitely need help on defense too.
Absolutely. The tight end can be a quarterback security blanket. If you got a good one who knows how to get open like he does, it can absolutely be an asset to Jayden Daniels. And last year, a lot of that money was spent on the offensive side of the ball. Now they're starting to spend a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball, which I think is a smart move.
And the other thing for Jayden Daniels, injured last year, some of the extend the play, scramble stuff, find your tight end, find your running back. This will be a good check down option for him in that offense, as well as being able to stress it vertically. But Dan Quinn, on the defensive side of the ball, that defense didn't look how it's supposed to. They had a lot of vets, a lot of old guys on the ball, on that side of the ball last year, so I like the moves they made this far in free agency.
This is a team that went to the NFC Championship just, 2 seasons ago, which is fairly incredible. So I'm trying to look up the odds. I mean, any reason to think they're third right now above the Giants in the NFC East, that they can compete once again in that division?
Well, I mean, the quarterback has to stay healthy. That's first and foremost. But remember, this is a team that went from there to there, and now you're going into a year where I think those guys feel like they have to win. Don't you think Dan Quinn has to win this year? Don't you think Adam Peters might need to win this year? All of a sudden now, that's why they got to go out and get some guys to add to that. They also have 2 new coordinators, too. It's a change at both sides of the ball. So it's all new, and they seem like they know in the back of their minds that this is a big year for everybody in that organization.
That rookie year for Jayden Daniels, you got to keep in mind, they won 10 games, 1-score games. And that's just not realistic to sustain that type of success situationally. It's the same kind of pressure the Chicago Bears will be under this coming season after having that magical ride. So you have to be able to fill in and maximize some of the things you're doing. And Jayden Daniels is the guy that he's the reason for the season. Keep him healthy, play some good defense. You'll win a lot of games. Speaking
of quarterbacks, we saw the Ravens agreed to, as you take a look at Jayden Daniels' first 2 career seasons. But moving on to the Ravens, they restructured Lamar Jackson's contract. They got done. They got Trey Hendrickson, and now they're getting Jaylinn Hawkins, safety, for 2 years, $10 million. Thoughts on this move? Anyone?
Well, I think he played well last year for the Patriots. He really did a nice job, and it was probably the best year of his career, but it came at the right time. And I think this is a good, solid move for them. They let Gilman leave. He went to the Chiefs. He played well for them at safety. The Ravens did. Now you go out and get a guy like this. Really, they replaced Gilman. I mean, they replaced him with Kevin Byard, which I don't necessarily think there's that much difference. And one's older, not a lot older, but Byard's older than Hawkins. It's a strange move for the Patriots in my mind.
I feel like it makes sense for me with New England in particular. I know we're talking Ravens on the lower third here, but Vrabel wants...
you can move on to the Patriots.
Vrabel wants guys that are in the right place at the right time or doing the right things. If you look at the production from Kevin Byard, he took the football away. He led a young secondary group there in Chicago, and I think a lot of the same things will be asked of him in New England. And
Vrabel knows him.
Vrabel just wants guys he can trust, okay?
Yeah.
And Kevin Byard's one of those dudes.
32, he'll be 33 when the season starts, but he's a veteran. He's going to give you exactly what you expect out of him. It's a shorter-term deal, so it's not like you're committing to him for the long term. And to your point, you know exactly what you're going to get.
And the production's there. 7 takeaways from that position. Anytime you're doing that, there's always going to be a place for you somewhere on some team in that back end. QBs, don't throw them. DBs, take them away. So you're getting some production immediately in the back end.
This Patriots team obviously went to the Super Bowl, then got spanked in the Super Bowl. Reason to think that they can continue the immense how well they did last season, or was that just a flash in the pan?
Absolutely. And the great news is all their damn good players on offense are, they just got out of puberty, seemingly. Drake May was in his second season, and he lit the world on fire. He was almost the MVP. Will Campbell, who was a rookie left tackle last year, people said his arms were too short to play the position. Take my word for it. He can play the position. He was out there playing hurt next to another rookie on the left side.
I'm going to sound the alarm.
This team is going to get better. Drake May will get better.
The offensive
Josh McDaniels will continue to figure out.
You're not in on the Patriots?
No, I'm not in on it. Will Campbell, he's hurt. He was not good.
No.
At the end of the year. He was not good.
I'm not good on one leg either.
Including myself.
Did you see the DNs he had to try to block too, though?
Yeah. That's called the gauntlet.
But you got to admit, he was a spinning top. Let's be real. He was a spinning top.
I saw that graphic came back earlier today or yesterday.
So
congratulations on that. Okay, producer Noah, which way are we going? Because there's a lot going on. Okay, we're going to break, apparently. We're going to take a quick.
Danucci, Kyle Long, and Pete Prisco as we're going to talk about all of these guys and potential landing spots, Jenny.
And I think we should start off with the number one guy on the list, and Kyler Murray. I mean, you look at the career that he's had, durability always an issue with him. But Pete, where do you see him fitting in the most?
Well, the chairs are getting filled. I mean, there's not a lot left, so it's time for him to pick one. And I think ultimately he's going to pick the Minnesota Vikings. And I think it makes sense for him. I don't necessarily think he's a great fit in Kevin O'Connell's offense, but they'll figure it out. And he's going to compete against J.J. McCarthy. The winner will be the starter. And you get him for only $1.3 million. And the Vikings have cap issues, so it makes sense in a lot of different ways. I thought, again, if Indianapolis had done what I said, then he would have fit there. But I don't think there's any place else left for him. I think he goes to Minnesota.
I think that you are absolutely correct. And I try to put myself into the shoes of Kyler Murray, and albeit they are tiny little shoes, I think about which place I would want to play football at. It would be, I want to throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. I want to be coached by Kevin O'Connell. I want to have an opportunity to play in a place similar to Arizona with that controlled environment weather-wise in Minnesota. And also just the renaissance for Kyler Murray. We think about how much of a freak show he is, and you and I play, we know how much traits and skills really equate to success. He's got that stuff in droves. If he can pair it up with a good game plan and a good roster around him, I think Kyler Murray, there will be no competition in training camp. That's his quarterback spot.
Let's not forget about the other side of the ball in Minnesota, too. Pair him up with that defense. I mean, how many one-score games were the Vikings in this year when Carson Wentz was in there, Max Brosmer was in there, and it was like, man, if they just had somebody that could throw the ball, push the ball downfield, and convert some third downs, it feels like they would have been in a lot more of those games and had a chance to win. But yeah, if I'm Kyler Murray, this makes all the sense in the world. Go play for Kevin O'Connell, go get a chance to throw to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, have that defense with Brian Flores on the other side of the ball, have a chance to revamp your career. You see what Sam Darnold did. Yes. Daniel Jones was there and didn't even play. He goes to the Colts, and all of a sudden he's making 2 years, $100 million. So Kevin O'Connell's been kind of the quarterback whisperer.
He's like the new Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
He wipes the stink off and you go make millions.
Wasn't that the movie? The guy who was like, whoever he dates, the next person that they date, they get married. It's like quarterbacks get paid now.
You know what's great about it, though? He hadn't fixed J.J. McCarthy, though.
Oh, 9.
Right? Hadn't fixed him. Fixed everybody else.
He needs a darkness retreat, I think.
You guys automatically think Kyler Murray will be the starter no matter what.
I think Kyler Murray shows up and wears out J.J. McCarthy.
I do. I think he'll be the starter, but I think they'll make it a competition because they're not.
I think it'll be a competition, but I think when they start competing, once the two of them are, I don't think it'll be.
Plus, the GM who picked J.J. McCarthy isn't there anymore.
That is true.
Going to San Francisco?
Yeah.
Make our way down the list. Rasheed Walker, 48 starts in the last 3 seasons after being a 7th-round pick. Pete, how much is that durability at his position valuable, and what does the market look like for him?
He's really good in pass protection. He's not great in the run game. So that's the one concern with him, but he's outstanding in pass protection at times. So if I'm the New England Patriots and I just watch my rookie left tackle become a spinning top in the postseason.
He was hurt.
I know, but he was a spinning top in the postseason. Then I think you might move him to guard, and you get a left tackle who can hold up in pass protection. That, I would consider if I were the New England Patriots. Again, they're on record saying they're not moving Will Campbell. I always thought he would be better at guard. I would probably move him to guard and go get a guy like Walker.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Isn't that what they say? Especially with the New England Patriots. And I would imagine they're going to try to find a way to maximize Will Campbell. So I could see that being a spot for Rasheed Walker because he's not the premier marquee guy. Okay, it's a very Patriot way to get a good football player, not a great one. We got a bunch of good football players, we can win, but I still think it's the Chicago Bears to Rasheed Walker. You mentioned his pass protection ability. What's the superpower that the Chicago Bears have right now? A creative, off-schedule quarterback. You need somebody on the blind side to protect from those turnover-worthy plays.
And what's a quarterback's best friend? A tight end and a good left or right tackle, depending if you throw righty or lefty. So there's probably a couple teams right now that are sit back watching saying, hey, we need a guy. Patriots, can we move Will Campbell inside? I'm not sure you do that after the first year. I'm not sure. Do you give Will Campbell a chance to kind of ride it out and see if he can fix some of those things? But there'll be a team out there, a quarterback out there that says, hey, I need to shore up on one of my edges, and one of these teams are just going to pull the trigger.
Pete, what was that you said about a spinning top?
Yeah, when you're